Alright, so for Seeing All Red by Shaky Graves, you're gonna need this chord. I'm barring the 2nd fret, and then you use an A minor shape based off of that bar. Except the way that I play it, usually you kind of mute the E string, the low E, but the way I'm gonna teach you, I use the low E in there, so I do a full bar and then A minor shape. You're also gonna need an A chord, which for this song, I play like this. You can also try to kind of bar it, but for me, it's easier to play it like this for this song, at least. So the A chord, you just got those 3 strings. So hopefully you know it. And then you're also going to need a G chord. But for this song, you can just play a really easy G where all you do is cover the 3rd fret of the low E string. And then you also need an E minor. And I think that's all the chords. So now I'm going to teach you the picking pattern that I use. And then you can kind of just put that over the chords, hopefully. So we're going to start out with this bar chord. And for this picking pattern, I don't know if it's right, but it sounds close enough to me. And so I start out, I hit the A string, and then I pinch the D and the B string. And then this is where I use the low E. I hit the low E that's still barred on the 2nd fret. So I go A, pinch D and B, then I hit the low E. So far we have this. And then after that, I hit the G string. Then I go D and B. So slowly, it looks like this. So that's the picking pattern that I use over that 1st chord. So the song, it starts out with that chord, and then you kind of hear this bass. Like, I don't know if it's a walk or whatever, but I hear this. And that is on the A string. I'm going 2nd fret, which is already barred by my pointer finger, so I keep it there. And then I go 4th fret, and then I go 5th fret, then I go back to the 4th fret. And so I'm playing that with ring, or pointer, ring, and then pinky, and then back to the ring. And then you go into the A chord. So far we have the picking pattern over the bar chord, then the walk, and then you go into the A. And then for the A, I use basically the same picking pattern, except for you're not gonna hit the top string. You're not gonna hit this low E. Instead, every time that you would hit it in the previous picking pattern, you're just gonna hit the A string again. So the bass is only gonna be on the A string. So I'm holding down the A chord. Picking pattern for the A chord looks like this. Same thing, except I'm not hitting this. And then within that A chord, I kind of hear a little slide on the B string from 2 to 3, and then I hear a slide back down from 3 to 2 on that same string. So this part's a little tricky for me, so I don't think I play it exactly the way that I don't know, it's played in the recording. But I go like this. I go through the picking pattern, just basically pick it up again, the picking pattern. So I go through the picking pattern one time, and then at the end of the picking pattern, you're gonna hit the B string, and that's when I do that slide from 2 to 3 with my ring finger. And then I just hit the B string again on the 3rd fret. And then I hit it again, but I slide down back to 2. And then I hit it again. So it sounds like this. And I try to integrate that into the picking pattern. So I guess I'm going through the picking pattern, and then I go A string, G string, D string, and then I do that slide back down. That's what I'm doing for that A chord section. Sounds like that. If you want, if it's easier for you, you can play like the bar version of the A chord, and then kind of hammer on and then hammer off of the 3rd fret B string with whatever finger you want. That's how I used to play it, but for me it's just easier to play it like this, and then slide back. So hopefully you have that. I think that's probably the trickiest part of the song. After that, I hear another bass type of walk. Sounds like this. So that's just open A, and then 1st fret A, and 2nd fret A. And then you go back to this bar chord, and that should be the entire verse. So I'll play it a little slowly. The entire verse kind of sounds like this. So you basically go from this chord to the A chord, and then in between you go and yeah, after you go through that walk after the A chord, you're just back straight into this chord. So it's kind of nice that your finger ends up there after you do the walk. And then from there you go into what I'm gonna call the chorus, which you need the really easy G chord and then the E minor. So for the really easy G chord, which is just this one note fretted, you're gonna go, picking pattern basically stays the same as all the other ones. I go low E, and then D and B, then low E again, then G, then D, then B. So it should be the same as all the others, except every time for the bass you're just gonna hit the low E string. And then you go to an E minor chord. Picking pattern is the exact same as the G. So those two picking patterns, same exact thing. And those are the only two chords that you need for the chorus too. And it just goes back and forth between those two chords, I think 2 times, and then you go back into the verse with the walk that you use from I guess that second walk that I taught you. So you go picking pattern over the bar chord, walk, A chord, walk, and then you can go into the chorus. Then you're back into the verse. And that's basically how I play the entire song. You can switch it up. I know that he like adds in some little changes in there, like just with the picking pattern. I don't know. And then one thing I like to do that makes the sound sometimes a little bit more like the recording, especially, I don't know, if you have an electric, you can play it on the electric. It sounds really nice on that. But I like to palm mute with my right hand. So it'll sound a little like this. I don't know, you can palm mute, which is where you kind of put your palm on the strings and then play them, and it gives it that like muted sound. You kind of put it right on the bridge of the guitar, so it sounds like that versus this. Both sound really cool, really good, but just feel free to mess around with that. And I think that's about it. I think that's all I got. I hope it helped. If you know like a more accurate way to play the song, whether it be the picking pattern or any of the little like licks or runs that he does in there, feel free to let me know, let other people know in the comments. It'll help everybody learn. And that's it.